just laying there during the act, like silent cries during the act, it kind of goes to show that they're also too not present enough to pay attention to you. Tell me about the last time you had an attitude with someone. Last time I had an attitude with somebody, it was a man. He conned me and then ghosted me. And I ain't spoken to that man since. And this is very triggering. So that's all I'm gonna say about having an attitude with somebody. Because I'm still pissed off, but we're not gonna go into the rabbit hole. We're gonna be classy. What is one thing you love spending money on, no matter how much it costs? Ooh, one thing. Clothes. I love shopping. I love shopping with all my heart. Like, I love shopping. Like, I would say food, but there's a time where I'll look at food and I'm like, heck no. But clothes just make me happy, whether it's from a thrift store or a regular store or a consignment store, or I could go to Goodwill. Spending money on clothes just makes me so happy. I just love it. And my man. Period. Cause I'll blow a bag on my man. Like, when I get my man, it'll be my man for sure. That'll be the number one thing I love spending money on. My man, my man, my man. What things did you still do as an adult that you loved doing as a child? Dancing, creating, taking care of people that I love, watching movies, writing, especially writing poetry. I don't think I'll ever stop writing poetry. There may be times where things are, I guess you can say, like there's spaces in time where I won't be actively writing, but like I'll never stop writing poetry. Tell me about a time where you were angry with God and what that conversation looked like. What comes to mind is when I was in college, I was registering for my classes and my financial aid hadn't kicked in. I just knew that I was going to be a psychiatrist. It was the only dream that I had my entire life since I was 4 years old. And I just felt like God was trying to sabotage me. I remember exactly where it was. I remember going outside of the admissions building and going out to the parking lot and standing there and screaming at the sky. Like, I can't believe you're doing this. Like, I don't believe in you. I was genuinely losing my belief in God. And I remember screaming at the sky and my heart was turning cold. I just threw a tantrum. It turns out that God was trying to stop me from meeting the people who would then essentially lead me away from him. Introduced me to sorcery, new age spirituality, and witchcraft for the next 7 years of my life. So now when things don't work out, I thank him. But at the time, I was very, very upset and very angry, and he was just trying to save me. But I think that there was a way of the options, right? It was like, do I lose her forever or do I lose her for 7 years? And man, do we have a patient God? Because he gave me what I wanted, and it opened up a whole can of worms. When you look back at your 20s, what is one mistake you don't regret making? I don't regret like being a witch. It's weird to say, but it's such a testimony. And I learned the good from the bad. And I learned how to break the generational curses in my bloodline of witches. It taught me so much. And it taught me how to spot it, what to do when I come into contact with it. That testimony allows me to talk to people who are in new age spirituality today. And it just allows me to share my testimony and what God has done for me. I don't regret my crystal worshiping phase because it definitely brought me back to Jesus. In what ways are you afraid? In what ways am I afraid? I think that I'm afraid in love, that I'll never get the level of love and the intention of love that I've given. I'm afraid that I'll never meet somebody that loves me wholeheartedly. I'm afraid that I'll keep coming across men who won't choose me. I'll always be in a financial struggle, and that there are generational curses on my bloodline that won't be broken. That the reason as to why I can't get out of financial struggle, the reason why I have health issues is because of generational curses that have been passed down to me. And I won't see healing in this time. I won't see love in this time. And I won't see financial freedom in this time. And I know that these are the lies from the devil, but those are some of the ways that I am afraid. Tell me about one of the hardest things you've been through. I'm unsure why that comes to mind, but okay, Holy Spirit. I've been through this multiple times, but I think that one of the hardest things that I've been through is being sexually assaulted while you're in a relationship with someone and them not necessarily understanding that they're sexually assaulting you. Um, I think that when you live with somebody and when you give your body to somebody, there's a blurred line of consent being implied. It's it's not. It's a it's something that you have to say. I don't think that there was fear in my assaults. I think that it was more so me shrinking myself in those moments because I didn't want to disappoint my partner, and also me not bringing up the assaults to my partner because I didn't want them to feel accused of something that they may have not been aware of. And I don't think that they had any malicious intent, but I also think that after hearing no so many times, um, people can get frustrated. And I think through frustration they can make choices that just impact the relationship and their partner. And I think just laying there during the act, like silent cries during the act, it kind of goes to show that they're also too not present enough to pay attention to you because that's something that you can't hide. Yeah, I've never really, never really talked about that, but yeah. Say three kind things about your least favorite ex. Why we keep going to the least favorite? Can I do three kind things about my most favorite? You made me laugh. You were sweet. And I enjoyed talking music with you. Three kind things. How has your familial structure impacted the way you see your current or future family? I think that my familial structure has impacted the way I see my current or future family, just by showing me the do's and don'ts, showing me what I do and do not want, um, taking traditions into consideration and implementing those, and then getting rid of a lot of things. Just because things were happening for a long period of time doesn't make them okay. So I think that that is also another way of breaking generational curses and coming up with new traditions and celebrating the holidays that the Lord has given us, and really just starting my own legacy through my future family. How have you dealt with heartbreak within community? Whew. Um, it's hard. It's hard, but I had no choice but to take it to the Lord. When you take it to the Lord, you end up realizing that there are things that are outside of his will that he will not allow you to entertain or endure. And even though it hurts, it's not going to be forever. Having a conversation with the person about it and gaining understanding um, of their perspective of things and forgiving them. Like forgiveness was something that the Lord called me to like almost immediately. It was like, you need to forgive this person. I was like, are you crazy? You need to pray for this person. I'm like, audacity to ask me to pray while I'm hurting, and this is just in realizing that this is just a moment that you're sharing with this person. This is not the entire trajectory of you and this person's relationship or friendship, and you don't have to carry this forever. You can forgive them and move on, and you can love them from a distance, or you can forgive them and move on and still keep them in your life. I've dealt with heartbreak in community a couple times, and it's definitely been a learning curve and a learning experience for sure. Name your top three favorite Bible characters. Peter, Peter off the rip, y'all already know how I feel about Peter. David and Daniel. Those would have to be my top three. If I had to throw a lady in there to replace David, I'd probably throw in. The Book of Esther is so good. I'd probably throw in Hannah. Hannah, yeah. I'd probably throw in Hannah. I don't know if she's a favorite, but right now I'm gonna say Hannah. Yeah. Tell me about a time when you spent the block. Was it worth it? It's never worth it when you spend a block. Never. I don't spend a block often. Here's my rule. If we're together in whatever capacity, before Christ in a situationship, but if we're in a relationship and we break up, you have more than likely, depending on why we broke up, you may have a chance for us to get back together, right? But once I get a new man after you, my guy, I promise you, it's over. So I don't necessarily think I never spent the block on somebody that I moved on from. I don't do that. Once I move on from you, it's done. But if we in that little limbo, yeah, it don't be worth it. Even while you in the limbo, getting over them, and it don't be worth it because it was just not worth it. It was not godly. But this is before I gave my life to Christ. But still, like it just was not worth it. It was not worth it at all. I think I'm done for today.
I'm telling you, she came out of nowhere.